Previously on Projects and Problems. This car is missing a backup cam. It's missing CarPlay. I wanted a large screen, a knob for volume. Some folks in the forum recommended this radio. I thought I would give it a shot. The one in the middle, which is $85.81 for $327. What is good, Project fam? Thanks for tuning in to another episode. What are we doing today? So going through the box, I'm pulling out all of the supplies that I've purchased over the past couple of months, anticipating this radio job. This includes wire cutters, metra kits, everything needed to get this job done. I need a 10mm socket. Let's get rid of this battery cable. But before I can get rid of the battery cable, instructions said to turn the volume on high to make sure that I get the proper output through the amp. I think it's through the amp. So that's what I'm doing now, turning the volume up. And then after the volume is up, I think I did it to 75% this time. And the next time I did it, I had it at 100%. Then I could take the battery cable off. So I use my 10mm to remove the battery cable. Sneak peek at a clean engine, y'all. Yes, I did. I did take some time to clean the engine. All right, so this is the key to remove the radio. So this came with the metric kit that I purchased. And you push one key in on one side, the other key on the other side, and there you go. That's how you unlock the radio. So what I'll do is I'll pull this out, and I'll probably put all of the original equipment in a box so the next owner, who is nobody, can get it. This is probably just going to sit in the box. I am not going to sell it. So very important that when I do something like this, I record me pulling off all the connections, because if I ever run into a problem, then I just go back to the video and I can see what went where. And this is saved. Oops, the microphone fell. This saved me on many occasions. So next is just using these plastic tools to pull off fascia. I forgot what the exact name is for these plastic, maybe trim removal tools. I have a slew of them, and I use them to just pry off plastic things on any of these cars. Now, in order to free up space for the double din up top, for the big radio up top, I have to move my HVAC, my heater, this thing, and I'm taking it out now. I need to remove that, and I need to relocate it down to the bottom. So after I relocate that down to the bottom, then I have all that space up top to put in the new radio. And as you can see how easy these things are, 2 and 3 connectors for a wire harness, and it just comes off. It is that simple. Okay. This is such a waste. So what this is, it's a DVD storage holder. It doesn't even play music. It's just a storage holder. Who thought of that? Okay. Take off the bottom trim using the same trim tool. This cabinet, I am not going to use that little cubby I took off. Then I take off the side. Good. And now I'm about to kneel on the floor. My dad always said, do not kneel on cold ground because you'll get arthritis in your knees. So, yeah, Dad, I do listen. He's not watching the video, though. So not only do I have to reroute the actual HVAC control, heating, ventilation, and air conditioner control to the bottom, I also need that wire harness. So I have to pull that wire harness all the way through to the bottom. And once I get it through to the bottom, there it is. Then I can install the actual HVAC faceplate. Can't even get it through. You know, I'm wearing gloves because there's a lot of like sharp metal, and I always scratch up my hand. So sometimes instead of scratching up my hand, I'll rip the gloves. All right, is that the bonus wire? Where's my bonus wire? There's a wire down there that has a 12 volt and a switched ignition for a cell phone. Like who connected cell phones in these cars? But Porsche supplied a wire harness for cell phones, and I'm going to use that connection to connect a lot of my devices that need power and ignition switched power. So that was me. I rerouted all the wires to the bottom, and now I'm pushing in the HVAC control unit in the bottom. There it is. Even I was surprised. So usually it snaps into place, or I just broke another piece of plastic. In that case, it snapped into place. Use my screwdriver, put some wires in. Then I realized I forgot to put something in, so I had to take everything off again and put it in twice. Usually when you're doing these jobs, you're going to do things multiple times. And don't be afraid if you have to take everything out and don't, I should say not be afraid, but don't be annoyed, because that's all part of the process.
Yep.
So now I can put both sides on. And I just routed all of my HVAC to the bottom, and I freed up space up top for the double DIN radio. That CD holder thing I told you that was a waste, that is obviously not going back. So that's why I had some extra space at the bottom. And now I'm taking off the top fascia. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my camera and take a picture of the configuration of those terminals, the yellow, the green, and the pink. But Porsche is one step ahead of me because they already did that. They actually have color coordinated labels that they put on the place. So there it is at the bottom. So I'll know exactly where things go. And that's me using a flathead screwdriver to gently pry this off. Left and right, left and right. Just take your time while doing that. There we go. Whew. Exhale. Exhale, baby. That's right. We did it without breaking it. Let's go. So now I have to take off 6 screws and torque screws, and that's the top unit for the ducts. Remove that. Once I pull off the top unit for the ducts, I can remove the whole radio harness. There it is. It's not that difficult. Time for some bench work. So when I was reading a lot of the manuals, everyone is saying to use like a Dremel type tool and cut that middle bar so the radio will fit, and cut off the tabs so the radio will fit. And you kind of do it all in one shot, and then you realize that you cut way too much off. Now your radio does not fit. It's way too big. So I took my time and I just kept shaving off. I kept shaving off enough on each side before the radio fits perfectly. Now this is me taking apart the cup holder up top because it gets stuck every now and then. And I just checked online. Those cup holders are rather expensive. So let me see if I take it apart, get it working. It seems like it's working fine now. All right, so I'm only going to show a couple of seconds of me doing this. Oh boy. Fast forward. I cut the wire harness thinking that I had the right harness.
Adapter.
They shipped me 2 harnesses, and I did get the radio to work with the wrong harness. And since I already beat up and cut up the old harness, I did get a new harness. So now I have a new harness coming in the mail. And in the meantime, I'll just keep connecting things up and trying to test out the radio. This is so basically that's a wire connector. It's got some solder in the middle, and you use the heat gun to heat up the solder to connect the wires. Now that's a mess. That's a mess right there. But I will tell you that I was able to connect the radio. It's temporary because, as I told you, I need a different harness. But I was able to get everything to work. And when all the work is done, look who shows up. So bottom line, it wasn't too difficult. I wish there had been instructions so I'll know exactly what goes where. It's properly labeled, but I think I need a little bit more than that. At the end of the day, this is what it looks like. It's not too bad, not too shabby, but most importantly, Waze is the real reason why I got this radio. Look how big that is. As I'm going through the city, it tells me exactly where the speed traps are. It tells me exactly where the red light cameras are. And obviously on the highway, it tells me where my friends are sitting. And when the new harness comes in, I'll be able to wire up the reverse camera.